Hey everyone, it's Reg from Aver Reg Guy. We got to Mars, did a landing, the guys went out, did their thing, got a bunch of stuff ready for the new colony, and now it's time to go back to Earth. So, these side rockets still have a little bit of kick left in them, so I'm going to use them to give me the initial boost. You go up pretty fast from Mars because it's fairly light compared to the Earth. And you can see how low my thrust power was once I started coming down. So what I'm going to be careful of is that I don't go sailing straight out. So go up, get an orbit, find Earth, go to it. That's our plan. So to start this, I don't need to see my pretty rocket go because I know what it looks like. I'm more interested of like where the atmosphere is, and hey, I came pretty close to somebody. Who are these two? Oh, that's just one of my capsules. Maybe that's what they did. They picked up that guy. Sure, and there's a dead soldier out there. But yeah, he picked up the guy from that other capsule. So that's good. Luckily he had a lot of food. So he was good. So now they're ready to go back. Now we've got a story for it. Okay, so let's switch to this one. Yep. And let's go back to Earth. So, in fact, before I do that, I'm just going to get a picture of them there. Here we go. Okay, so let's take off and get going here. So again, like I say, there's a fair amount of thrust out of these engines. So even though I'm not very high, you can see how fast that thing shoots out. Get ready to stage. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Stage. Thank you. Oh, please turn. Please turn more. There we go. Fire that one on. That is not the recommended way to do that. Obviously, one of them came off a little crooked, I would say. But we should be fine. That was just a little bit of fancy flying for you there. So we knew what we were doing the whole time. Yeah, and luckily these two things are falling someplace where they're not going to be of a concern. Just pointing my rocket up a little bit. I want to get up a little bit higher here. There we go. We got a nice climb going now. I was thinking I should just drop those things before I go, but no, I thought it'd be fun to use them to get some height. There we go. So we were definitely going to get into orbit, or at least into space. Now we're going to try to stretch it out. Okay. You can see how fast that's growing, right? So I'm just going to go up here. Get turned in the general direction. Okay, and go. And you see how fast the orbit comes. You can tell that we're going pretty fast because the dot is moving ahead of us. We're gaining height so fast. Okay, we've got low orbit. Let's find Earth. Here it is. Navigate to. Find where our transfer window is, all the way in behind us. So we're going to spend a little bit of time looping around Mars here, I guess. And sometimes the transfer windows don't keep moving. Sometimes they stay there, sometimes they move. All depends on a lot of different things actually, but we're catching up on this one pretty quick here. There it is. Okay, so once we've got that, we go back in, and you can see the path is almost straight behind us, right? Because we just need to slow down so we can drop towards Earth. So there's our transfer window. Whip around over to it. Now, one thing that's kind of fun with this is we're basically playing with like X and Y windows. If they throw a Z onto this at some point, that's going to make life a lot more interesting. Okay, so we're spun around about there. There we're getting there. Just going to adjust my aim. There we go. And go. So, same concept of what we've done before. Whoops. Helps if I turn the thrust up. Same concept of what we've done before. We're just going to extend the envelope out. Or the orbit. Right? You can see the orbit stretching. And it goes real fast with this one. Same concept. There, disappeared. So now we go and find Earth. And there's our approach. Don't shoot past it. When it disappears, like just like right now, it says, "Oh, do you want to go to the moon?" No. And I've had it where it decides to make a pit stop at one of the other moons, and everything disappears for a few seconds until it comes back, and then you go, whoosh, okay. Okay, that's close enough. Now, back out again, and just do some time travel. There it is. It's coming away from Mars. You can see how strong the gravitational pull is of the Earth compared to Mars. When we get up close to Mars, it just a slight little bend, right? But with Earth, it's got a really strong bend. And we're pretty close to the planet, it looks like. In our approach here, I'll have to see how close we are. No, we're okay. Yep. Just wanted to make sure we weren't getting into a part that's going to get us in trouble here. Got lots of fuel. Dip in a little bit further. You can see all my other satellites and everything looping around there. Space station with their little robots are there, so it's all good. It's going to go a little bit more. And thrust away. And then I'm just going to watch that curve, because I don't want it, I'm a little bit further back yet, and I don't want it to come into the Earth's orbit, so, or into the atmosphere. There we go. See how it disappeared for a second? That was probably heading to moon or something. Okay, let's get a little bit further in. There it comes. And sometimes when I'm doing these, I'll go for an upper orbit, and then I'll go for a lower orbit. But these ones, I'm just going to go straight into the lower. Keep an eye on where we are here. There we go. That's a good. Now this rocket, once we get slowed down enough, as long as my orbital path is entering the atmosphere, I can say goodbye to this rocket, because we will go in. As long as I'm not too shallow and skip off, that would be bad. Then I'll have to send another mission to go get him back. That poor guy, probably the one that was stuck on Mars there for a while, he probably would never want to go back into space again. There we go. Again, there we go, into low Earth orbit. The whole concept with this is just get slowed down enough so that we can land. So you can see we're getting close. And you know what? This looks like as good a place as I need to start to drop in. So I'm just slowing myself down a bit. And just make sure it's just shallow enough. I'm not going too steep in. Okay, let's get rid of this payload here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, actually I'm going to turn the other way. Turn this way a little bit, because it is an explosive release. So when it does it, it looks like that guy's backing up, but I'm actually moving ahead of it. So that one we just left is going to follow this path and burn up. As long as we don't hit that guy on the way down. That would be funny. That's... Come on, you can get by. There he goes. He snuck past. Okay. As soon as we hit orbit, or hit into the atmosphere, it'll start turning. So this is the easy part. That other one is way behind us, so it's good. It'll burn up and it'll be not in our way. I have been hit by, that's why I tend to turn a little bit. So I'm coming in at about 1400 here. That should be okay. You can do it. Oh, not too far. It almost will do it by itself. Like it's, the rocket is actually, the capsule is actually designed to come into the Earth's orbit or atmosphere here. So we're starting to cool off already. Oh no, it's still climbing. Sorry, it's still climbing at this second. But our speed has slowed down quite a bit. So there we go. She's cooling off. Now, at 2500, I could pop my parachute. But I tend to wait a little bit longer because otherwise it takes forever to land. Now, I had somebody ask one time, which way does the heat shield face? Towards the arrow, okay? So you can see I'm purposely keeping it pointed in towards the arrow. It doesn't matter now because it's cooled off enough. We're going slow enough. But that's the answer, towards the ground. And the parachute, like I said, about 2500. As soon as I deploy it at 250 meters, it will automatically open wide. But I'm going to drop a little bit further here. So there's 16. And the reason I give it a little bit more is because it'll slow down in plenty of time. So we're not worried. Okay, let's drop the heat shield. I tend to like to do that because it just makes the capsule just a little bit lighter. Okay, so you can see it's dropping ahead of us. It's basically like a big pizza. And then it's at 250 meters, the chute will open wide. There you go. And we slow right down. Now, one thing that would be nice with this would be to have an ocean, the ability to land the rockets or the capsule in the ocean rather than just to land one all the time. I've heard rumor that they're looking at that, but there it comes. Doo-doo-doo. So we went to Mars and we came back. And let's see what the, there we go. So yay, there should be fireworks. And the people get out, and the guy gets out, kisses the ground because he's been stuck inside a capsule for a long time. So he's happy to be home. Now let's check the accomplishments, because I find I do all of this stuff as to the best of my knowledge, and I still doesn't show that I've done them all. So let's see. So we went to reached 1,000 meters, went up, rose past into space, low Earth orbit, escaped the sphere of the Earth, entered the sphere of Mars, captured into low Mars orbit, landed on Mars, reached Mars' upper atmosphere, escaped Mars' atmosphere, got into low Mars orbit, escaped from Mars, got to Earth. Maybe it's the stage of upper orbit, I don't know. Entered the sphere of influence of the Earth and landed. Temperature landing on Mars. I don't see what it says on that, but coming back to Earth was pretty hot, but that's okay. So let's take a look at when I recover, go back to the Space Center, and if we take a look at my achievements, and I got nothing new on that. So see Mars, It says capture into low Mars orbit. I did that. Entered Mars's atmosphere. I did that. Re-entered Mars's atmosphere. 0 temp degrees. That I don't know. Something might have got warm. I don't know. And then landed on the surface of Mars. So I must have entered Mars's atmosphere. So that I don't get sometimes why they don't show up. But there you go. See if I got. Please hit the subscribe down there. Give it a like. Ring the bell. If you have suggestions on stuff you'd like to see me do, see, and this is again, I've got something on Phobos. See, I did one, or Phobos. I did one as a thing here. It says nothing. Deimos says nothing. Jupiter says nothing. Io says nothing. I've got something on all these, but I don't know. Don't care because I can go see them. So, thanks very much for your time, everybody. Please do hit the like, tell your friends, publish it somewhere, tell people to go check these out. I'm hoping to give, like I say, enough step-by-step detail that you guys can easily do these yourself and then go above and beyond. Try to figure out what you can do with it. So take care, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.